What is up guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be doing here some test stands going second for Meklords. So I hope you guys are actually excited about this. I will have to apologize in advance for the rain outside. It might be a bit loud, so if you guys can hear it, I do apologize. But there's really nothing else I could really do to stop it. I did the best I can to try and minimize the sound by putting a bit of insulation around the sides to prevent the sound from getting in. But with that being said, let's just get started. Before that, I would like to remind you guys to drop a like, share, comment, and consider subscribing if you enjoyed this kind of content. But without further ado, let's begin. Alright, so here's our opening hand, 6 cards that is, because we're going second now. So right off the bat we do have a disruption, an effect failure, fantastic. We could also potentially get rid of something on their back row, which is great, and we'll go for the upstart goblin, drawing us 1 card. We have here Grenell. That's great because we have a lot of cards to follow up on. Now you have the choice of going either for Infinity Core to search out your assembly, which will search out more Meklords, or you can go for Obligato. The Obligato is pretty good for going second. Normal summon it, destroy it, summon out your Skill and also your one of your other ones. Where is it? Grenell. And we're going to overlay these two, of course, after summoning out Wysel and also Grenell as well. That would be fantastic. You could then overlay and go into your Dreadnought, and keep in mind that Dreadnought will allow you to pretty much go into one of your big monsters, so that is definitely fantastic. It's just really powerful to really just do this, because you're going into rank 10 just from rank 4s. It's just absolutely insane. So with that being said, this is essentially what we have here. This would be at 4k attack most likely. This is at 25 with a potential to negate a spell. And of course at the end of the battle, you could pretty much just bring out your rank 10. I'll bring out the Gustav Max, and then I detach a material and you burn 2000 onto your opponent as well. And of course if you want, you could then further link climb or rank up into your Libe, which is absolutely powerful. So definitely a great start. On your follow-up turn, you have here the Infinity Core to go for your assembly and then further generate more cards. For example, you go into your Infinity Core, go for your assembly, activate assembly, search for your Triskelion, and you have plenty of fodder in the graveyard by that time to pretty much just go for your Triskelion and attack again. Just really good, really efficient. Alright, so a bit weird here in this situation. We can use at least 1 Ash to disrupt the opponent. Now that it's our turn, we obviously go for the Cosmic Cyclone, disrupting the opponent's board by getting rid of 1 card. We have a spare Ash, which is still not so bad. We have Triskelion, but we can't really do anything with it because we have Obligato here. And that will obviously allow us to bring out 2 of our Meklords. So in this case, you bring out Skill and you bring out your, where is it? Where's the other one? A Wysel. And then of course you can overlay, and this will allow you to go into whichever one you want. So you could go into either your Dreadnought, or perhaps you could go for Iron Wolf. It's just really interesting what you could potentially go for. Of course, you don't even need to go into that. You could link these two away as well, allowing you to potentially go into something else. For example, in this case, maybe you want to go for your Phoenix, pop a card by discarding one of your Triskelions, or you could just go for your Underclock Taker. Absolutely powerful move here, because you're going to reduce a lot. So you could banish off your 3 Meklords here, all different names, summon out your Triskelion, reduce the attack of course of your opponent's monsters, and attack with these 2. Definitely huge damage. On your following turn, keep in mind you have here Ash to further disrupt the opponent, and another Triskelion just in case something might come up, but of course that depends on what you draw into, and that will depend. I mean, it really doesn't matter. but overall it's just dealing really high damage really efficiently. Alright, so here's an opening hand again, really great disruption onto your opponent, fantastic. But here's our opening hand over here, not bad whatsoever. Go for your Infinity Core, summon it out, search for your assembly, and now that you have assembly out, you want to figure out what you actually want to go for. So you have quite a few options here. What you could do is activate assembly. Assembly will allow you to then search for your obligato. So we're just going to search that out right now, and basically if your opponent tries to negate you in any kind of way, you have Caught by the Grave, fantastic. But assembly has its secondary effect. You could discard one card, then target one monster you control and destroy it. So you could actually just destroy your Infinity Core. Definitely fantastic. It really does give you a bit of an extra additional play. So discard your obligato, destroy your Infinity Core, and multiple cards are going to be chaining off here. So you're going to chain off the Granell, summon it out. That's a 4k beat stick already, but you have obligato in the grave, which we'll get to later. Infinity Core allows you to then special summon out a Meklord Emperor card directly from your hand or your deck with different attributes from the monsters you control. So in this case you have Granell being Earth. It doesn't matter which one you go for. You could go for Skill if you want, or you could go for your Weissel. I think either or, it's fine. You go for your Weissel, that's great anyway. Next up, we could go over here for our Monster Reborn. This will allow us to bring back the Obligato. We're going to destroy the Obligato, allowing us to summon out our two monsters. So I'm just going to bring out Skill, and I'm also going to bring out, well, might as well just bring out both of them, right? Or do they have to be different names? Maybe they do, but it really doesn't matter which one you go for there. Overlay these two, and this will essentially allow you to go for your Dreadnoughts, which could potentially go for your Gustav Max. So you're guaranteeing a 2000 burn, which is fantastic, of course, and considering all this attack, it's definitely very powerful. In addition to that, you do have two Meklords already in the graveyard, so if you wanted to do some other plays instead, so instead of going for a Dreadnought, you could just link those two, and this will allow you to maybe go for a Gigant X. We could then detach one material, allowing us to search for something. In this case, you could either go for your Synchro Absorption, whichever one you feel is appropriate for you to actually go for. It doesn't matter, it's all great, it's all fantastic options here available. So I guess I'll just search out Skill, and that would be great. But we can now banish off 3 Meklords from our graveyard here, because we happen to have 3, and summon out our Triskelion. And look at all that attack there, that's so big, it's crazy. I mean, you're pretty much going for an OTK here, clearing the board, absolutely fantastic. Alright, so here is an opening hand, definitely fantastic. Some things we can't necessarily do, so that is definitely quite unfortunate there, but we still could pull off a few things. For example, we could start off here with the assembly, and this will allow us to then search for whatever we need. Since we have Obligato, we could use maybe Granell as a great option in the hand, so add that. And from that, I can summon out the Obligato, and Obligato will destroy itself, allowing you to summon out your 2 monsters from the deck. So we're going to bring out the 1 Skill, and I'll bring out Granell. But aside from that, we are also going to summon out Granell from our hand. So that's also great. Your choice here is either you could overlay or you could do a few other things. I might just get rid of these 2 here as a link summon and allow myself to go for your Underclock Taker. Definitely fantastic there. We could also just discard one of our cards here, so you could either go for Eradicator or Weissel. Eradicator, getting rid of it is not bad because it has a graveyard effect to destroy one of your opponent's synchro monsters, and considering that there is the existence of virtual worlds which focuses so heavily on synchro summons, you are going to benefit with the Eradicator quite a bit. But even so, you have the 3 remaining cards left over in your grave, so just banish them off, allowing you to summon out your Triskelion underneath your Underclock Taker, or you could even put Underclock Taker with Grenell, and that way you could then reduce so much attack from the opponent. Of course, when you're going into battle, you have the choice of your limiter removal as well. Just really powerful, allowing you to do so much damage onto your opponent. So overall, it's so effortless. You don't really need to extend yourself so much, and it does so much for so little, and ultimately it's just what makes this deck so unique, so amazing for what it is. But that was pretty much it for today's test hand, so I do hope you guys enjoyed this. I am hoping to potentially try out some different builds as well with this particular deck, focusing on each of the Emperors, but we'll just have to see about that in the future. For now, I would definitely be open to taking a bunch of suggestions, trying out some more things with this deck, because it is definitely one of those decks that have really surprised me for how well it actually does. Despite the fact that it's meant to be an anti-synchro deck, it oddly works well here. And it is still an anti-synchro deck. Remember that your opponent or one of the top decks out there is Virtual Worlds, which is a synchro deck, so this is not necessarily the worst option to go for if you wanted to go up against a Virtual World player. So give it a go and see how things turn out. But with that being said, I do thank you guys for joining me today. I hope you all have a fantastic day. I'll see you all next time.